Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Rafia Shah once again. And today I'm going to tell you about how to prepare yourself before exam. And also I'll be talking about how to prepare for MFT final exam, like MFT Part 2 exam. Before talking about the before means what you are supposed to do before exam, you need to understand few things which are very necessary. Means you need some preparations some days before exam, on the day of exam, and during exam. Please do not uh, create tension for yourself that you are appearing in the exam and all the day, all the night you are studying, and on the day of the exam you are tired and you're not able to perform well. So first tip is that 24 hours before the exam, you please stop the preparation. This is what I suggest. Relax, watch movies, watch television programs, go out with friends, have a good sleep, sleep early on the day of exam. But please do not study all the night and day before exam, because on the day of exam, whatever performance you will give will not be good, because we are studying from long for the day of exam. If on the day of exam you are not fresh, you are with tension, you did not sleep properly, you did not have food properly, it means there is no use of preparation when you cannot do your best on the day of exam. So to me, relax before 24 hours at least, relax before the exam, sleep early, and wake up fresh. If you want to revise, the means that according to your time zone, your exam is starting at 3 o'clock, so you can have a little revision. But if you do not want to give a revision, then no need, because or the last moment revision or last hour's revision, it cannot make the difference. We cannot climb the mountain with that. So it's better to be relaxed. Now, on the day of exam, please do something like, because this is an online exam, I advise you to please do not create trouble for yourself with any of these things. First of all, you should ensure your time zone. According to the shared time with you, whatever time zone is yours, you again recheck. Like for me, the exam started at 2 o'clock. With every country, the time zone changes because we need to match our time with the UK time, and do ensure your time zone first. Number two, please keep your computer charged. Whatever the gadget, tablet, computer, whatever you are using, please keep it charged. You do not rely on electricity. I do not know about other countries, but in my country, we usually have problem with electricity. We do not trust whether in the time of exam I will have the electric supply or not. So you shall have your computer charged. If you are using any internet device, please keep that charge also. I advise you shall have different internet connections, because try to begin with the connection which you trust most. Number three, avoid keeping any gadget nearby. Please, the examiner, the invigilator that assess you in the time of exam, they ask you to show all, the place you are sitting, your room, and your table from the top, your table from the bottom, your arms to see where the gadgets are there, your ear and everything. Please do not cheat, because once, although these gadgets will not help you, because you will not have enough time to see here and there or to seek help from anyone, rather you will waste your time. Number two, forever you will be blacklisted for them, and they will never allow you in future to sit in any of their exam. Once you have studied, once you have paid for that, please do not do such mistakes. Please try to be alone in the room, lock your door, do not permit anybody enter in your exam. Do inform everyone that you are in the exam, so no one should knock at your door, even because if this causes disturbance, not only the disturbance, because the calculation we make according to us, like in this time I have to finish this much of the questions, so this disturbance can uh, waste your time. Do have a water bottle available with you, and do have some of the candies available with you. Sometimes due to stress we feel like fainting and all that, so you shall have all the things available. You shall position yourself exactly in the direction that you can easily, although the exam system plays the timings, how much time is remaining, but that is with second key, and they show in minutes, second and hours, so you'll be disturbed in watching that. It's better you shall sit in the direction of the clock with your exam table, so you can easily see what time, how much time is remaining, and how much you need to attempt, how many questions are left. During exam, that was on the day of exam. Now during exam, please, you calculate your time properly. Do not spend more time on a single question. The question you do not know, leave it. Leave it as such. You have choice. You can return back to the question. It doesn't mean the question you left, you cannot come back. No, you can easily come back to the question. The guideline which is shared by the examination center, they give you some, the tutorial to go with the question you leave. Sometimes like they become yellow, the question you have skipped, they become red. I don't remember the colors right now, just I'm giving you with example. So you please see the guidelines or the tutorial which it is shared by examination center with you. So you just have a look on that, and then you will understand which color is mentioning what. Whether the question you are on, I think that appears white. The question you skip, that probably turns blue, light blue. And the question you have left, that again have some lighter color, probably the light green and any color, I don't remember anyways. So do not spend much time on a single question. Leave that question and you can return back to that question. And if you have enough time, you see that I have completed my paper, let's say 10 minutes before exam or 15 minutes before exam, then the question you feel, you doubt, you can recheck them. But if you do not have time, please do not stop the paper. And like you are rechecking the questions after 50 questions you have done. This is example, like 50% of the paper you have done and you have started going back and rechecking. No, you will always do rechecking when you are done 100%. You are 100% done, then you can come back. Once you feel that you have rechecked the paper, you have done all the questions, do not leave any of the question. If you do not know the answer, I suggest you even then you attempt the question. At least something is better than zero. Once you are done with all the questions, then you submit your exam. If you don't submit exam, even then the exam will be automatically submitted. But if you think that you have time and you have done the exam paper in a due time, then you do submit it. Now you have given exam, you are done with everything. Now the time comes for the result. We start counting our time. Means from the day 2, we start asking in different groups, when will be the result announced? How many days does it take? This and that. So please relax. They, according to RCSI, they say within 30 to 40 days, they say they announce the result. But sometimes they give it early as well. Like for me, it came probably within, I think, 15 days. They announced the result within 15 days. So relax these days. And don't wait for the result. If you are going for a diploma in primary care dentistry, or you have appeared in MFT1 exam or MFTS1 exam, so it means you are going to prepare, you are going to appear in another exam like MFT2 exam or MFTS2 exam. So instead of waiting and counting these days, try to prepare for the upcoming exam. Do not think like when the result of this exam will be announced, then I have to plan. No, I don't say submit the fees. Wait for the result. Of course, you cannot submit the fees without having the first result in hand, but have your next plan started. Don't wait. You start walking to the next plan. If God forbid you fail in this exam, even then you are not in a loss. At least you prepared for the next step early, a little early, and that will give you knowledge that will not waste your time. Rather, waiting for the result and then you will plan afterwards is actually the time you're wasting. Because once we are studying from 2 months, 3 months like this, we are in some continuous flow of study. Our timetable is set accordingly. But when we give this gap, these gaps actually do not allow us to study. Again, we have to, get ourselves focused. Again, we have to make timetable. Then again, you have to, plan accordingly. So it's better when you are in one flow going on, you try to be with that. As soon after some days, before the exam or when the exam is announced, RCSI themselves, they send you some email. They said that your exam result have been uploaded or updated. When you get this email, they do not show the result on this page. You need to go to the appropriate page. They just give you this email, and you need to go and log into on this page. When you go and log in into your account, then your result is displayed over there. Whether you are successful, it will be written you are successful. God forbid if you are not successful, definitely the reply will be different. So this way, do not hurry. Whenever the result will be announced, it will be announced, you will be notified by the Royal College of Ireland themselves. I hope that will be beneficial for you. And those people who are having exam after some days, I wish them very good luck. And please follow these tips. Inshallah ta'ala, you will not have any trouble. Now coming to how to prepare for MFT Part 2 exam. Again, as I told you in my previous recording, please make a study plan. Follow that study plan with a proper mind map. Do not be a bookworm. Relax and study, but at least study for 6 to 7 hours a day. Chalk out the plan properly and follow these tips. But before all these things, you shall have all the study material ready. Preferably, I told you, hard copies. Now, which study material do you require for MFT Part 2 exam? Some of the books are same, like your master series, your both Oxford books, preferably your clinical Oxford book, and the past papers. Actually, when we study for Part 1 exam, we used to have a good idea about the basic sciences we get, as well as some of the clinical sciences. So you do not have to, read the book chapter wise or page to page. No, only read the things which are given in the exam, mostly from the past papers. Focus on the topics which are usually shared in different groups in the past papers. The topics shared in these past papers, you can go and read from these books. Before I tell you, do not read every page of the book and do not read every topic of the book. That is wastage of time. These are the master dentistry books. As I told you, these are easily available. If you don't find, you can go and download them from this Z library. You can make a free account. You can download as many as possible. You can download number of books without paying a single rupee. Again, the clinical books, the pink book and the blue book. Past papers. Actually, these are the books which are shared in different groups. You can find on online. You can Google them, and you can find on different groups shared on WhatsApp, shared on Facebook. So there are 3 to 4 books which are available. Whatever book you want to prefer, you please go ahead with. But I suggest you, there is a book, Garima, they say Garima is there, but somebody has shared a correction of Garima. You know, Garima's had some mistake. So someone has shared the book with the name of corrected Garima. So you can go for that book also. I suggest you please do not go for most previous papers. Do not start from 2011, then 12, then so and so forth. No, I suggest you please start from last 4 years. That's what I feel, because these last 4 years, if you start solving these last 4 year questions, you will have plenty of questions to solve. You should not waste time, starting from 2011, 2010, 2007. No, that's what I suggest. Rest is up to you. Here are other books. These are very, very, very nice books. If you really, for example, you have gone through Garima, and in Garima or whatever book you are following, or whatever the past papers from whichever country you're following. If, for example, you are doing the topic on probably, let's say, tongue cancer. You have got the question from tongue cancer. Please, I suggest you from the past paper, when you have begun the tongue cancer, please, in these books, open the pathology portion and try to find out the question of the tongue cancer and solve from here as well. You know, sometimes we do get the same topic, but the questions, the statement is same, but the stems are different. So when you will have a proper study from different angles, then you would be able to score the exam very nicely. And these are, believe me, these are very nice books. This is best for also MFTS. This is also best for MFT and MFTS for both the exams. Only the difference of the exam is that in MFT exam, we answer by writing, but in MFTS exam, we need to give some, kind of viva, the oral examination. But these are very, very, very nicely written books. I request you that please have a look on them. And these are also freely available on Z Library. You can download them, and you can have the hard copy. If you do not want hard copy, you can study from the soft copy, but you shall at least give one read from this book to the different scenarios. These are actually, I have collected all this material, like from different groups. You may find all these papers, like papers of November 2020, then papers of, Sudan 2018, like paper of some other country. Then you can have these, not only these papers, but some people, they give their solved, papers. Like, as I told you about the Garima and some other book I told you, there are some people, they have made their own, solved questions, like Dr. Malik. I followed several people, like whomever shared their answers, because what happened when you study from different places, for example, you are following a book written by Rafia, like I have written this book, I have given you all the answers for the past papers. And for question number 1, I gave answer according to me, like I gave you answer A and B. But from Mr. Z, you got another book of Mr. Z. For the same question, Mr. Z gave 3 explanations. So you're not in a loss. You got idea from my book. You got additional idea from the other book. You collect both these material. You can make your notes either on this book or either on this book. Always make notes on the book which you will follow till end. Because I told you, when we make our notes on the book, we follow till end, it saves our time. Do not write here and there. So study from different places, study from different solved past question papers is not a wastage of time. It's actually, you will have a little, different opinion present. You will have different answer present. Then you will be able to judge that which one is better, or if both are better, which is having more explanation. So that will be again more beneficial for you. And this way you will have additional information. The topic you feel, no, this is, I'm not understanding, again, I must say, you shall go back to internet, search, read the topic from there, have a good understanding, and then go on. These are the different groups. These are just, I've given you examples. There is a group of MFT exam. This is a Facebook group. You can follow groups like MFT part 2. This is one group. This is another group for MFT part 2 exam. This is another group for MFT part 2. There are a lot of groups made, and you can join them. Their links are easily available. You can make the Facebook search. Even from the Facebook search, you can find a lot of information. You can have a lot of files from there, and you can have a lot of material from there, as well as from the WhatsApp group and other social media groups. They're very helpful, and they do share some of the videos of Royal College F1 Ireland, the video tutorials which are given by probably their lecturers. I do not know exactly, but those are actually from Royal College of Ireland. Those are again good, but I did not listen to any of the video, because I felt that I shall, instead of listening to 1 hour or 2 hour video, it's better I shall do more and more the past papers and memorize the things. But rest is up to you, you can do. So again, I must say, when you gathered all the material, you have everything available, now you are going to study, again, make your timetable. It is very essential. Do not only make the timetable, but please follow that strictly. You can cheat sometime, but not every time. So try to make a good timetable. As I told you, start with most recent papers or topics. Do not start from 2008 and 9. That's what I suggest, because if you will start from 2008, 2009, and so on and so forth, till you reach to 2021, you will not have enough time. Because for every exam, there are around 10 to 12 questions, and every month there is an exam. So if you will try to finish these all exams to reach to 2021, you need 1 year to study. So it's better, have effective learning. Try to start, it's my suggestion, try to start with 2018, then 19, then 20, then 21. If you have time, you can switch on to 2017 like that, but try to at least have recent 4 to 5 years. I brought one station for you. The purpose of sharing this, actually, I want to explain some things over here. So, for example, I'm giving you one station, and I'm not giving you one station. I'm reading, for my own study, I'm going through one station. That station is regarding platelets. The question asks, in which condition does the platelet count decrease? And which medical term is used for that condition? We know that the condition, even if you do not know, you will have the solved papers, and then you'll say, oh, okay, thrombocytopenia is the condition where the platelet count decrease, and this is the answer. Great. You understand what is thrombocyte. You read, not understand. You read what is thrombocytopenia, and then you memorize this. Okay, I shall write this thing. Then you shall have a little idea what exactly thrombocytopenia is, because not necessarily they will give you the same question. They may give you the same question, but from in under that title, under that platelet title, they may give you some other question. So just have a little look on what is exactly thrombocytopenia. Like in this condition, they say name two disorders causing thrombocytopenia or decrease in platelet. Okay, you just memorized thrombocytopenic purpura and immune thrombocytopenia. You said, okay, every time I'm finding that book is asking for, the question is asking for two disorders, so I have to memorize these two. What if they ask you four disorders? So it's better to have little more study. You can do Google search easily the causes or disorders causing decrease in platelet count. You just write them on your copy quickly, the book you are referring. There is no harm. You will have additional information, and that additional information will help you in the exam if the question is asking you something more. So you would be able to do it. From where do these platelet arise? That they are continuously asking about platelets. The main statement is platelets, and the sub-statements are regarding that. So from where do they arise? Okay, you know that they arise from the megakaryocytes of the bone marrow. But at least there is no harm if you understand what are megakaryocytes, from from where they are produced, other than bone marrow, from where are they produced? There is no harm knowing that. So this little information will help you, or may help you if the exam is a little different. And if the question is again regarding platelets, this is the fourth question of the major platelet: question 1, question 2, question 3, question 4. This question is saying that what are the process by which hemostasis occur other than a coagulation cascade? Now you see, you do not know what is a coagulation cascade. And you read in my book, okay. She has written vasoconstriction, platelet plug, clot formation, clot retraction. Dear, it is there, but please, when this thing is given, try to have a look on it also. What is a coagulation cascade? It will not take you a long time. It will hardly take you 5 to 10 minutes. At least you will have a good idea. And not only reading from the book is sufficient. I must say, you see, you read, okay, vasoconstriction, platelet, plug, clot formation, clot retraction. 3 times or 4 times you gave the read, okay? And when the next day you come and you ask yourself, you forgot. So it's better to have a look on the picture on internet. You just see, these are the major components. You see, if this picture will be, you will see for once at least, some of it will be retained in your mind. So okay, yeah, vasoconstriction, then platelet activation, then coagulation cascade, and then this clot mechanism and all that, they are helping the formation of hemostasis. So these pictorials, these pictures or pictorial presentations are very nice. They make you memorize things. Or if 2 or 3 minutes video you see, then it will also be very helpful in memorizing the things. Written material, the reading material is less memorized than the one which is seen in the form of a picture and when it is heard from someone. That's what I believe. And the last question, they say, okay, role of the platelet in hemostasis. So okay, you said, okay, platelet gets activated, then after getting activated, it attaches to the endothelial lining, and then it aggregates and then degranulates. Fine, good. But what if you see like this, okay, these are the blood cells going in the center. Normally the blood flows in the center, but when there is a trauma, these cells which are present at the center, they come to the endothelial lining. When they come to the endothelial lining, there is a change. This picture is showing you this. You see, earlier they were traveling here at the center. And you see in this picture, they are not at the center. These platelet cells, they have come near the wall where the trauma has occurred, and they have started, first of all, one of the platelet or some of the platelets, okay, they recognize there is a problem. They started adhesion. They adhered themselves. Once they get adhesion, they activate the other. This platelet got attached with the wall, then it activated another platelet. This platelet is activated, then this will call another platelet. Like this, there will be several platelets that will be aggregated. And once they get collected like this, they get collected, then they release their own granules to make a plug. So this picture, see, made you, make the things more conceptual rather than to, in our language, we call it the ratification, means just reading without understanding. So these kind of videos, the presentations or pictorial presentations help you a lot in understanding the things. And you will never forget them forever, because picture will be again and again in your mind. Even if during exam, you will forget the written material, but the picture you cannot forget. Okay, you'll memorize, yeah, first the platelet got activated, then it started adhering itself, then it called another platelet, then that called another platelet. That way they aggregated together and they released their internal some granules, and they started forming a plug. Another question related to that, write one factor that is needed for platelet adhesion. Okay, one factor is good because the question is asking one factor, so you have to write one factor. If the question asks you three factors, then do write three factors. Don't think that, okay, what they have asked me to write one factor and okay, I remember three factors, so I shall write. No, they will not give you marks, but they rather waste your time. Although they will not cancel whatever you have written, but it will waste the time of your next question. So whatever is asked, just give that information. Do not give additional information. So von Willebrand factor is the one which is actually needed to allow the platelets to adhere. So for me, I study a little more like, okay, von Willebrand factor is the one which is responsible for platelets to adhere them. But what is it? There is no harm knowing if it is a glycoprotein. What if in the upcoming, in your exam, maybe they'll ask you, what is a von Willebrand factor? At least you shall have knowledge, it is a glycoprotein. So means a little more information is not a harm. So as I told you, try collect all the informations from different places. Gather all the information from different places and just collect them all and keep with the book which you are going to follow till the end. Whatever is gathered from different places, please write all them down in the book which you follow till end. I hope my advice or my experience will help you out, and hopefully you will get through the exam. And I'm not sure, but I'm planning to have to help you people by solving the question, inshallah. In future I'll do my best to do that also. Till then, good luck for the exam, prepare well for the exam. For any help or for any kind of material, if available with me, you can contact me on my given number, as well as you can email me, and I will surely, I will for sure help you. Thank you so much, guys. Pray for me as well. And thanks a lot.